Hey guys, Desolator Magic here, and I just wanted to make an update to one of my former videos from like yesterday, the day before, or whenever I made it. I think I was looking at things from slightly the wrong perspective. I was definitely on the right path, and I was definitely mostly correct. But there's a whole intent missing, so I thought, okay, I've got to make a follow-up. So Masters 25, okay, more spoilers are out, almost all the spoilers are out, and almost everything today was worth under $10. So why do Iconic Masters again? I mean... That's the only way I can phrase this, Wizards. Why do Iconic Masters again? I thought you said that you were sorry for it, it was a mistake, and you will fix it with this one, because all I'm seeing are low values. Well, I have the answer for you. Now, see, what I thought it was before is, okay, they don't just want to drop $600 into it, they want to drop excitement into it, they want to artificially hype up the demand for it by people saying, oh my gosh, every card I've ever loved is in here. I remember a ton of these. I just want these. Like, I haven't seen that card in forever. I want some for my collection. I want some for my cube, my commander deck. I want some for my commander deck 5 years in the future. I just want these cards, period. Now remember, my theory was those people are black holes, okay? They buy a box, they open it, and they keep the cards. Every time somebody buys a box, opens it, and then puts the cards onto the singles market, it devalues the singles because the supply just went up, and it devalues the entire box because all the singles in it went down. So that is true. I was definitely 100% correct about that, but I think their primary intent needs to be a little bit more clear here. So this is all my theory. This is not confirmed, so it's not like I'm reading off their press release or anything. But remember how they kept focusing on excitement? Iconic Masters wasn't exciting enough. People waited 78 days after they were released, or give or take a couple days after the spoilers were released, and then it came out. And people were like, ooh, yay! And then they waited, didn't think about it, and then it came out. Well, if you didn't think about it, I mean, that's just... what does that do for, like, the excitement level going down? But perhaps what they meant was, they literally said we waited too long, but what they really meant was people weren't excited about the card choices, the actual cards. And remember, Iconic was supposed to be iconic cards. It was supposed to be Masters 25, basically, where it's like, whoa, look at these cards. I used to play with that. That's awesome. That is so cool. Oh, that's such an old card. Oh, they finally reprinted this. Oh, I can finally get this with the little, foil stamp on the bottom. Oh, I can finally get this on garbage paper quality. I can't wait. I have a version that's perfectly flat. You know what I don't have is one that'll curl instantly. I gotta get me one of those. That's a whole different video. Okay, so include cards that, people get excited about for reasons other than money, because then on top of people opening it for money, which is going to happen no matter what anyway, you get people opening it because they want the cards. Well, what can you do on top of that? And the answer is copy EA and do loot boxes. I was thinking about this all wrong, guys. There's two types of excitement. One is, ooh, I want these cards. They're all awesome. I don't care about the value. I just want them because I love these cards, which even I've been falling for that. They put some of my all-time favorites in this, and Iconic. I would even say Iconic was better. I mean, wasn't like Claustrophobia in that or something? I freaking love that card. But what's the other reason people buy and open packs that they wouldn't normally do? Because, I mean, it's like, if the average pack EV is $15 and you pay $9.99, you're going to open packs. You've got a reason to open packs. You've got a financial reason. But remember, not everybody who buys the product and plays the game will open a pack and just sell the cards and buy list them and whatever. But, I mean, people trade... like, no matter what. I've never heard of somebody just buying them and just not trading them unless, like, none of their friends play or I don't know. So, I mean, value's still on your mind. It's just not everybody's like, I need to make a return, a financial monetary profit on this pack. But then again, I mean, I don't know if it's 90% bulk singles openers buying these products and opening them and 10% end user customer people, or is it like 50-50? I have absolutely no idea. I don't even have a basic grasp or concept on what the number would be. Honestly, do you think even Wizards does? It's kind of hard to track, don't you think? So I'd like to say people open packs for things other than money, but it's like, everybody wants to pull $100 cards. It's not really quite true. It's the gamble. It's the chance. It's the enormous return. And honestly, every LGS I've been to, they don't love it when people do this, but it does kind of make them buy more sealed products. So it's like, they're usually okay, kinda. You pull a $100 card, there's some dude sitting there with $80 cash. I mean, you don't even have to buy list that. You don't have to drop it in the mail. None of that. No trip to the post office. You can just get cash right in that parking lot. So, I mean, booster packs are lottery tickets, basically. So, you know where I'm going with this, right? People open packs because maybe they'll hit it big. I mean, just think about it. Like, you spend $10 and get 100 back. That would be good even at a casino. Like, that's like a good, like, 777 hit on like a slot machine or something. I mean, you don't get no $100 for a $10 bet in blackjack. You know what I mean? Like, that's like a small jackpot right there. So, okay, what if your fallback is, I love these cards, I want them, I don't have copies of most of these cards, I used to play with them, oh, I'm already getting a deck idea, what if I need these for a deck, just all these reasons that you want the rest of the cards no matter what, and you might get a gigantic money card. So, let me tell you things from my perspective. I opened, I think, 121 booster boxes of BFZ. It was a lot of cards, okay? I got like 50-something, 60-something, whatever, of every rare plus or minus 2, okay? So do you think that gambling is anywhere in that? There is no random chance, like, at all. I mean, there is slight variations and variants or whatever, but other than that, like, I get like 28 of every mythic, and I mean, I pulled, I think, 41 expeditions. So that was kind of cool when I pulled a good one versus like a $20 one, and I actually pulled 2 Eye of Ugins, which was awesome. I actually got a lot of fetches. I did really good on that set. So that was the variance for me, but otherwise there is no variance, okay? So every time I can consistently open a pack for, I don't even know what my cost is on those, honestly. We'll just say $5. I'm sure it's like 6, but whatever. And I can make $10 out of it, or $15, or whatever. You just gross value, not counting shipping and all that, 15. Anytime I can do that consistently with every single pack, over a large number, because obviously some packs are going to suck and some are going to be $400 or like $300. I actually don't remember what the hottest pack I opened was. Maybe it was $300. But like over the whole, every time I open a pack, if I intend to open 10,000 packs, every pack is going to be worth X. I know what the return is. So if I can consistently just go, oh, look, $15. Oh, look, $15. Like, I'm pulling cards that are worth 20, 20, 20, 20, 20. Oh, nothing. Okay, 20, nothing, 20, nothing, 20. That averages to like 15. So every time I pull like a $12 card, I'm like, yeah, I won. Awesome. Open a $5 card. I'm like, all right, okay, at least it's not a huge loss. Open a 25-cent rare, and I'm like, this sucks. And then, open a $100 rare, and I'm like, wow, hello. But I could care less if it's one $100 rare or 5 $20 rares. I don't think that's how the math works on that, but you get where I'm going with this. I don't need the big giant payoffs because I already know what I'm going to open. I just have to open them. That is not true for basically anybody else. Nobody opens enough for private personal use, I guess we'll say, to hit those kinds of numbers. That kind of consistency just does not happen. So, would the average person opening boosters for reasons other than strictly large-scale singles value, would they want to pull a $60, $80, $100 card, even a $40 card? Would they want to pull that, or they just want to open 5 packs and get, 3 cards worth $15 a piece? Which one is better? Which one's more exciting? So it's all about how you distribute it, because remember, box EV is box EV. If I'm going to open 1,000 boxes or 100 boxes, whatever, I know what I'm getting. Doesn't matter if a couple of them are $100 or a whole bunch of them are $15. It doesn't matter to me because I'm going to make the same amount of money. But to the average customer, they want the jackpot, okay? And they don't want it to be some long shot. I think that was the complaint about Iconic Masters, was you pulled one of a couple cards or you lost. That was it. That's why people hated it. They're like, on average, I'd have to open 50 boosters to get like one worthwhile card. I don't know if it was that bad. Maybe it's like 1 in 20, but those are like really bad odds. If it's like, it gets boring if you're like, oh, look, an $8 card. Oh, look, a $9 card. Oh, I got a $13 card. Oh, look, I got an $18 card. If there's no cards above 20, but the box EV is amazing, people aren't just looking for like cumulative returns. Not necessarily. Some people are like, yeah, I'm not going to pay $240 a box if I know the box is going to return an average of $150. I'm just not going to do that. But for like single boosters and for just selling more because of, the temptation of gambling, basically, the people just like, maybe I'll buy a pack on the way out because maybe I'll walk out with a $100 bill when I get to Sketchy Dude's truck and he hands me cash. Slippery Steve's discount card pawn shop in the back of his pickup truck in the parking lot. Who doesn't have that? By the way, Slippery Steve, definitely Legendary Mana's stripper name. So, if there's just consistently really, really, really good, solid $10 to $20 cards, and that's it, and maybe one or two distant jackpot cards, who's going to walk out the door and be like, ooh, maybe I'll make $2 profit? So hopefully you get where I'm going with this. I think they did the whole, oh, look at these big shiny cards. Oh, Jace is $100, which, no, it's still conspiracy. It's an absolute fantasy that the people who unban cards and the people who decide what goes in sets even talk to each other or are in the same building. It was a coincidence, and they've been talking about unbanning it forever. I'm sure they included it in EMA just in case it got unbanned, and then it didn't, and then they did it again because it was a $50 card, and now it's a $100 card. That does almost nothing to the effective value, by the way. So stop saying that they unbanned Jace specifically to sell this set. That is not true. People would have been just fine with a $50 Mythic. That is an insane pull, and a foil, I don't even know, probably 90 it would have been, and now it's probably like, what, 100, 150, something like that? Not that big of a difference. Jackpot's jackpot. So I think what they did with this one is put in exciting, memorable cards that are worth nothing, basically. And then they, on top of it, put in just jackpot, 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 jackpot. Because think about it. Cards above 30, I'll say, there's, what, maybe 10? Maybe? You get one rare slot and you get one foil. So that's like 2 shots at it. So, but then I think there's a 21 to 27% chance, depending upon the numbers, that your foil will be a mythic or rare. So, like, you got that shot at it, and a foil could be worth a fortune. Like, if it's never been printed in foil, you're looking at like a 4x multiplier, not like a 1.4 multiplier, which is average. So you got more shots at it than you think, and that's why they include a foil in every single one. Also, $9.99, they got to justify it somehow. But the gamble is there. It's just jackpot or not, and then they put in just enough hyper expensive cards to get a respectable box EV, maybe. Now, I haven't done the numbers yet because we don't have all the numbers yet. And of course, pre-orders are a lot different than 3 days after release, so nobody knows for sure what the real pinned down box EV is, and honestly, there is no such thing as a true EV. Are you talking about TCG, talking about Card Shark, you talking about eBay, or are you talking about some ridiculous retail place that you shouldn't be using for prices? Kind of depends where you personally shop, because that's your EV, because that's where you shop. But you can get a range, and I'm going to do that calculation the second the last card drops, and I can at least look at pre-order prices from like Card Kingdom, because they tend to predict stuff really well, and they tend to be pretty damn close to eBay, like usually within 5% on release day. Now, just think about it, okay? What if all the bad rares that are like, $5, they all drop to like $2, so now there's just almost nothing but losers. The box EV drops to like $190, but you could still pull a $100 card. Don't you think more people are going to buy it if they could still pull a $100 card? That's why instead of consistently putting in mid-level value, they just went turbo low and then turbo high. That's my theory, because they kept saying excitement, excitement, excitement. The people weren't excited. Well, you're going to be excited about this. This is the most exciting set. They might as well have just say, like, this is a casino, you're gambling, yay, excitement. Like, every time you hear the word excitement, just think of, like, sound effects from a casino going off in the background. Every time they're on live stream talking about it, they make a statement on social media, just add in random casino sounds. You could probably pick that up on YouTube. You could hit play and then go read their press release about it. It would be a lot more accurate and give you a more accurate context and connotation. So that's awfully tricky. If it moves packs and they have evidence that that'll work, or even if it's just a theory, I think honestly it's a good theory. I think from a business standpoint, it probably will work. Am I going to pat them on the back and congratulate them and say good choice? Hell no. I think that people would benefit more from cards that need to be reprinted because they hit $15 or $20 and somebody needs 4 of them for their modern, for their commander deck, but obviously they need some amount of them for some deck they're building in some format, but 20 is a little steep because they outright drop money on the lands, you know what I mean? Not that many people are like, I need a Rishodon port or whatever that card was. Oh, gee, I just have to have a Pact of Negation, which is rumored. I don't think that even cleared $20. Whatever the high ones are right now, nobody's just like, yeah, I need that. So at least they put in some semi-popular filter lands, especially in Commander, where you can only have one of each land, so of course they're popular there. But okay, so they print this, and now, everybody can afford to play blah format now because of it, right? No, a bunch of cards are still $15 and $20. That's what we needed to get reprinted. To me, a card above $10 means it needs to be reprinted. more customers means more customers. So more people playing the game, being able to afford to play the game helps, and people buying singles from anybody anywhere helps the general economy, the secondary market, usually LGSs. So that's what they should be focusing on instead of like cards that are just already completely out of control, or they're in a format where the decks cost $20,000 anyway, so of course it's a $100 card. So what do you guys think to my little addendum to the conspiracy theory? Did they put it in to make the cards more exciting and add just high-end ones to beef up the EV to make the investor singles people happy, and also add a huge jackpot gambling factor to it? I mean, think about any card 15 up is basically kind of like them putting masterpieces in. It's kind of the same thing, and they said that worked, but they're out of worthwhile cards. So this is what they did with it. They did this instead, which is the same exact thing. So I don't know. I could be wrong. I mean, once we see a whole picture and I chart it out and see what the distribution is and what the standard deviation from the median price is and that kind of stuff, then we'll know. But just feeling it out from me looking up all the prices manually in the last 3 days, it looks exactly like what I just said. So just know what you're getting in for and don't buy more than you can afford, I guess. I mean, this turned into like a gambling PSA. Well, okay, I gotta end with the silver lining. I do it whenever I can. I hate shipping out a whole bunch of freaking $15 cards and paying $3 to ship each damn one of them. I like shipping out $100 cards a lot better. In fact, it just costs me less envelopes if all the cards suck except for 10% of them, and those are all $50 plus. That actually helps me. It's easier. It's easier on the sorting. It's easier on staff time. It's easier on the number of envelopes, the number of trips to the post office, everything. I just simply, I used less sleeves, less top loaders. It's just easier. Less postage, less overhead, bigger margin. Bigger margin equals I open more. So there's another little theory for you. So whatever, makes my job easier, I guess. And you never know, if I sit on a bunch of $1 bulk, it might go back up to its original price. Like a $1 rare that was $8 and dropped to $1 might go back to $8. Who knows? So hopefully that'll happen, and I'll see you guys next video.